Hey, govannen, niblings. Let's play LotRO, episode 55. Alright, so I've got this quest to defeat Warmaster Uzorr, so I'm going to head up and start working on that. Okay, so just to show you, he is up here. There's a little lake there in the middle of the Weather Hills, and it's a big orc camp. So, I need to get up there first, obviously. Yeah, and I believe this road goes pretty much straight there, although I may have to cut around at some point. Oh, no, it doesn't. There's a barricade here, so it's... Yeah, I'm off to the side of it now, and there's no way over here to get up and over there. But this road gets you going in the right direction. It's been a while since I've done this quest, but I believe I could cut through this way and get over there. Yep. And there's an orc here. I'm just gonna go around it. There's some Arnorian ruins here, and I can't remember if this is a point for an exploration deed or not, but it did trigger a point of interest on my map. I'm getting attacked by orcs up here. So, none of my quests that I have at the moment involve killing any orcs. So, I'm going to avoid them when I can. But I have to fight these two because they're right here by the gate. Alright. So, you may notice that there's just this lake here. The camp is actually above me. So I've got to get up there. Now, I do have a quest to get these lockboxes. So I'll be getting those as much as I can. Also going to eat some food. Alright, let's see if I can avoid this one. Don't know that I can get far enough away from it. And that's just a regular loot chest. It's not one of the quest items. So, there's one down there too. Took a little falling injury. Now, I think there are more than 8 around here, so I may not need to grab everyone that I see, but yeah. Okay. Oh, so here I've got a poison, and I can use cleanse. Cleanse, there it is. And it removes that poison, see? Very handy skill. Alright, so there's a couple lockboxes over there. 3 of them, in fact. I think I can get around there without aggroing any orcs. Let's try. Yep, working so far. I don't think there was another one here. No. So making good progress on that quest. this archer. It's pretty hard to run off, but they're easy to kill. Yeah. I got this one. Couldn't climb up that hill right there. Okay, so there's a couple more right here that I can probably avoid. Let's see, does this go anywhere? Just use a cliff. Couldn't remember if there was another lockbox over that way. Alright, now I think I can squeeze between the two of these here, which would be pretty handy. Yep. So when the game first launched, you couldn't do that. When you came across this end of the bridge, it would aggro these two archers, but at some point they changed the aggro radii of a lot of lower level monsters, and now there's a little gap between the aggro radii of these two orcs. You can get through there on the bridge. Alright, so I've got all the lockboxes. Now here's Warmaster Uzorr. Now I found the bow at some point. I guess I found the bow off one of the archers, so I did need to kill a few archers. Alright, but this is it. This is the last fight. Just need to defeat the Warmaster here. Yep, I've got enough time left on my food, so I'm just gonna run in and mark him. Oh, I don't have a stun. If I had had a stun, I could have maybe. So this is what's called an add in MMO jargon. He called in reinforcements. So the Warmaster called in reinforcements there. Yeah, and don't forget to get this orc letter. If you just kill the Warmaster and you don't pick up the letter, you don't complete the quest. Alright, so I'm going to jump down here. I'm going to take some falling injury. There. 30-second falling injury, which is not as high as it can be, but I did survive that jump. And then I'm going to jump off this waterfall here. That way I don't have to run all the way back down through all those bridges and orcs and everything. Alright, so what I was saying about ads. So the Warmaster, the first thing he did when I aggroed him was he ran over to that pole and he called reinforcements. And then that second orc spawned to come fight me. And in MMO jargon, we call that ads, which is shorthand for an additional monster, basically. I might have been able to stop him from doing that if I had an ability that could stun him right away. I guess I could have tried using my fear in bear form, but I didn't really have enough wrath to do that. So that's just something to be aware of with certain enemies that you fight. Alright, so that completed 3 quests there up in that war camp, and that will advance me to the next chapter. Just gotta get back to Candaith over here.
How can I be of service?
Alright, it's just thanking me for getting those items back from the lockboxes.
Greetings.
Ooh, a much better bow. Yep, since the power potions are useless, I'll take that. So that bow is a big improvement over the one that I had. Does a good bit more damage, and of course I don't use bows a whole lot, so having a bow that does suboptimal damage is not a big deal. But it is nice, just in case. So I guess I picked up some of this stuff. Fighting those... Some of it I already had. I might have picked up one of those from fighting the orcs.
What do you need?
Okay, another letter written in a black speech. But we need to translate it. Okay, so... I could take this armor, which has better armor rating, but worse stats. I think I'll keep what I have. Or we could take this cloak, which has fate. And better armor. I think I'll do that. 17 max morale is not much. I mean,
What do you need?
7 fate's not much either, but whatever. Incremental improvements are always good. Alright. So, he saw flashes of light on top of Weathertop. And it was not an ordinary storm. There was no thunder and no clouds. So he wants me to go up there and figure out what's going on. Alright, and just for a refresher, let's see what other quests I have. Just this one, it looks like. Collect wolf hides. I need to go back to the Forsaken Inn at some point. Wolf hides and wolf tails. And then just the quest of Trestle Bridge. Okay. So, this is Weathertop, and Amon Sul up at the top of it. Is the tower that was built on top of it. Now, on my way up, I'm going to hit a point for an exploration deed, which is right over here. This is really the closest I'll get to it at any point. If I can remember exactly where it is. I can never... Yeah, I think this is it right here. Mon Sul. So, let me pull up the deed. Yeah, Mon Sul. That's the one that I needed. And then this over here, Gondrin. Yeah, no, that wasn't part of one of the deeds, so I didn't need to find that after all. Anyway, didn't hurt anything. I was right next to it when I went over there, but I did need Mon Sul. So that's an easy one to miss when you're doing the Lonelands deeds. And you end up having to go pretty far out of your way to come back to it. So it's a good idea to grab that while you're up here. Alright, so again, I don't have a quest to kill any orcs, so I'm just going to avoid them. I don't know that there are any wolves up here, so I don't think I'll be progressing that quest just yet. Alright, now there are... You can follow this big path here, and it just goes in a big circle all the way up to the top. There are easier ways to get up Weathertop, like this path that I'm taking now. There is another one that's even easier than this, but I missed the entrance to it. So, I don't think I can get here. Yeah, it's too steep. And yeah, it's a bit of a maze getting up. Yeah, no, I ended up back on the main path. But it's fine. There's a bunch of Crabane up at the top there. Yeah, I always forget where the shortcut is. So just completed the Weathertop exploration deed. Found all 4 of those points. Building up these virtues. Should check on them at some point and see if I can find a better virtue configuration. Alright, so here's something to interact with. Found some runes on a rock, so I took a rubbing of them. Alright, so now I need to get back down to Candaith. And from here I can really just kind of hop my way down like this. And here's the path that would have been easier to take right here. See, I always forget that it's... the way to get up on it is right here. It's not... I guess it's kind of obvious from down here, but I always forget about it. Alright, so that was an easy quest. Easy chapter.
Greetings.
Alright, so he thinks he knows where these runes came from. Alright, so I've got two options here. It's the same quest, no matter which one I take. But I'm going to take the solo option. It used to be that when the game first launched, that you had to, this would have been a fellowship quest. You would have had to get a group to complete it. But they added in these solo options.
How can I be of service?
Okay, so he has news of Radagast, but he needs my help with something else first. So he managed to get the letter translated, and they're from the orcs, and their goal is to take Amon Sul, which would essentially give them command over most of the lone lands, because they'd be able to see anyone coming and going. So we need to stop them from doing so. So this is an instance, a private instance here.
What do you need?
So I'm going to go ahead and start it.
Weathertop, once a watchtower of the Dunedain, now a refuge for orcs. Candaith the Ranger strives to break their foothold in the Weather Hills.
What can I do for you?
Alright. So, this episode's going to run a little bit long, but it'll be alright. And there's a little bit of scripting in this episode. You can see the orcs are saying stuff to each other. Oops. Didn't finish my food. But it's a pretty easy instance when you pick the solo option. As you can see, there's a lot of goblins, and they are just swarms. So I'm not going to have any trouble with them. I could really just blow through them. And you notice Candaith is fighting with me, and he's quite tough. So, and fighting with me works a little bit like an escort quest. Except he's got way more morale than me, and he actually does decent damage. And that's usually the case when you are in a quest with rangers. Alright, so he wants me to light this wood pile. There's still a goblin behind it, but it hasn't aggroed. So I lit the torch pile, or the wood pile, and these goblins all came running. Could use my fear on them, but honestly, it's not even worth it. They're so easy to kill. Alright, so he's saying we need to split up. Alright, so I'll go left. You'll go right. So my quest objectives now, I have these 2 lieutenants to defeat. Alright, so I can take torches at various points and use them on wood piles to draw out orcs. It's not really going to be a big issue though. I'm just making quick work of them. Pretty easy. So there's a wood pile up ahead. So I can take this torch and light it. Some of these should come running to me. It just makes those 2 groups smaller, basically. So instead of having to fight 2 groups of 3, now I can fight 3 groups of 2, which is easier, but they were already easy enough, so I would have been able to handle them. Oh, got damaged equipment. So, over time, your equipment will get damaged. Let me fight before I finish saying that. This is one of those lieutenants I have to defeat. Oh, disarmed me. I couldn't use some of my weapon skills for a bit. Shut up! Alright, easy enough. So, I've got a damaged item here, this ring. You can see the durability is 10/50. If durability hits 0, then I no longer get any bonuses from it. So, occasionally you have to go back to a town. Really, any vendor can do it. And there's a tab there to repair your gear. Oop. Wow, I got stunned. At lower levels, a lot of the time, repairing your gear isn't a big issue because you're replacing it before it wears out. But you do eventually need to start repairing your gear. So this ward actually is not a swarm. So the ward keeper healed the ward. Just want to focus on the ward keeper here. Getting some lag. It's my internet connection that's lagging, not the game. Lag's getting bad. You can tell because the skills aren't going through right away. Looks like it's cleared up now. So remember, moving out of the red square there. I'll take a dot if I don't. I don't think I even have to defeat all of these. Let's see if I can go through these. Yep. Let's get this really big orc to fight. Oh, he stunned me. Oh, he's gonna heal the ward. Call for reinforcements. Got a bunch of bleeds. Cure some of them, not all of them now. Cardinals can only cure a maximum of 3. Healing myself. Bear heal, please. Alright. Wasn't hard. Boy, this episode is running a lot longer than I thought it would. I didn't realize this instance would take so long. Oh, lagging again. Orc came up to me from behind. Well, consider this long episode make up for a week that I missed. Alright, there's Candaith up here. And so he's been injured, but he needs us to keep going. Says his injuries are worse than he thought, but he'll keep any reinforcements from getting in. I've got to wait for him to open the gate, which is a little weird. See, it says that it's locked if I use it. Alright. So now I'm getting this thing called Inspired Greatness, which is just like a way of making instance battles in the epic books like this kind of feel more epic, in that I'm fighting enemies that should be a lot tougher than I could normally handle, but because I'm inspired by what's going on in the epic story, I am able to handle them. So, see, my damage has been boosted significantly. I'm just mowing through these orcs. Oh, it's troll now. Oh, there's an archer here to take out. Alright, troll. No match for a bear. Notice this troll is elite. It's very tough. Normally this troll would be very difficult for me to defeat. But because of my inspired greatness, it wasn't a problem. I've got Troll Slayer here. Okay. So that was the end of that instance.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so since we defeated their leaders, the orcs won't be nearly as difficult. Alright, so I get this necklace, which is not as good as the one I have. Could take these leggings, but I'll keep the ones with might. That's a light armor hat, so I won't take it. So I'll take this reinforced leather armor.
Greetings.
Okay. So for some reason these are only level 20 items instead of the level 22 that I picked up earlier. So a lot of it is pretty similar to what I already have. Oops. Clicked in the wrong window. I'll take these boots, actually. They're pretty good. Alright. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed the longest episode yet. And tune in next time, Niblings. We'll continue with the epic quest.